What's happening, sports fans? We welcome you into the first time that I've accidentally wound up coordinating my outfit with the team that arrived that actually looks cool and is not just a blatant like, oh, I'm wearing an old one of their shirts. Do our swipe left to reveal Coach from Coach. We've actually never talked. Can you say your name once for me so that I can get it?
I am Jarae Thurmond.
Jarae Thurmond. Okay, yes. So dude, it could be Kyle Smith, and I've had kids punk me and be like, I say Kyle. I'm like, all right, whatever. So after a year plus of us interacting on Twitter, it's great to actually have you in person. Sweetwater is 0-1, so we were talking pre-show about silver linings to losses. So I do want to hear all about how the season is going to progress for you guys. But just to give people a little bit of context, it is your second year at Sweetwater, correct? Or third?
What are we? Second year with varsity. It's actually my fourth season with Sweetwater. I've come up with our head coach, our current head coach, Irvin Hernandez. He was the novice head coach, and he brought me on, hired me on at a non-paid position. He made sure he specifically said that. And
does that count as hired, or is that you helped his ass out by coming on?
I just kept showing up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that. Okay.
I just kept showing up, and eventually he made sure I got a little chunk of change.
That probably connects with more coaches than people realize. Is the reality of that stipend? Yeah, that ain't gonna cover gas this year, homie.
It's definitely I'm in it for the outcome versus the income, because the income is not there.
Well, and the outcome though is like you mentioned, this group that is now in charge of the program has come up through the ranks almost the way that the players have.
Yes.
And you guys are collectively, you're still wearing the 100-year celebration. I think technically last season was the 100, but it's still the 100th year.
We're carrying on that 100. I think what we're really going for is now we're giving 100% every time we go. And
well, I'm just saying, you guys are trying to rebrand. You're trying to, as a program, get back to what a lot of people don't realize was the powerhouse of the 80s.
Yes.
Well, I mean, our analyst Noah Laxina, his dad, Mikey Williams, the basketball phenom, his dad. Like a lot of the dads of current high schoolers were like, "Yo, Sweetwater used to be the real deal." And demographics change and stuff happens well beyond anybody's control. But the rebrand is going how well so far?
It's going perfectly. Like we had a very smooth transition from head coaches, from Brian Wagner, who's at Hilltop right now, and they're doing pretty good. They held their own against.
Oddly enough, the South Bay kind of just hit shuffle, and everybody wound up at Arciaga, goes from Mar Vista over to Bonita Vista.
Clark goes
It was someone just was playing musical chairs, and then they're like, "All right, grab a school, panic!"
That's the coaching carousel.
And you guys wound up with Sweetwater, but okay, so it's going well so far.
Yes, it's going great. We had a very successful spring season, 5-0. Won league for the first time since 2016, I believe. So it's got the kids fired up. And like I said, this senior class that we have is the class that I came in with as freshmen. So they were novice. And
how'd you do in terms of retention, freshman through senior year? Rough number that you started with versus how many seniors are left?
So to continue to play the whole way through, maybe 4 or 5. But now, after a couple years, those kids are coming back. Those kids from that freshman team are coming back.
Dipped off for a year or two and they're back. That's a great thing. So how big is the overall program right now, numbers wise?
So our COVID, all these schools are taking COVID hits. I was at the Coronado Santana game last night doing a little spy work because we got Coronado next week, and I think Coronado had numbers like maybe 28, 30 kids, and I talked to some of my friends who are coaches at Montgomery. They got about 30 kids. For
the whole program?
Yes. Well,
or just for varsity? So I'm asking whole program.
Yeah, our JV is stacked right now, but a lot of kids who have never played football. So we got about 50 JV kids.
That's unbelievable. And no freshman team.
Yeah, no freshman team. So really,
about 80 kids. About 80 kids total. 2 teams.
Yes.
That feels healthy.
Yeah,
that feels good.
Healthy, but those kids at JV, we're kind of thrusting them into a position because novice, a lot of schools don't have novice programs, so we got to have somebody for them to play. So a lot of these kids who lined up against Grossmont, this is their first time ever.
I think it's a very understatedly real threat to the quality of high school football right now. The fact that COVID is going to push people into these situations where they didn't really get their freshman year to just mess around and be like, yeah, okay, I don't really know how to tackle, but I'm the starting safety. Like, I'm going to figure it out. We got to do this on JV against some kids that actually got in that year. To also, I think that the run-of-the-mill backup kid that every team doesn't realize they need until they need those legs to run the scout team in weeks 8 through 13 of the season, like those kids, I think their parents might not have in large numbers said, oh yeah, sure, go play football, just because of COVID related issues of just the minutia of, I think some parents just were like, look, you're not going to go play college football. I'm not going to let you do this. You can start in your sophomore year. And then how many of those kids actually do follow through on, oh, hey, like I think there's going to be a lot of teams that we will see in a couple of years, like you said, are 25, 30 deep on varsity. And you're like, wait, what happened? And it was just that class of 24 never really took hold with the wide group of them, which are like,
I'm from Georgia. Sorry to cut you off. I'm from Georgia, so playing high school football.
You say that with a certain kind of, I'm from Georgia. Yeah, I'm going to clip that if that's okay. And
we'll do it. I like that. So I've always been accustomed to 3 teams, and we're stacked in regards to kids. We have to make cuts, and then coming here to California,
nobody has any cut. There's no cut.
There's
no
like
cuts. 3 schools, but even then, Cathedral doesn't even really cut because they do JV A, B.
Yeah. That's like, I have a lot of friends in Texas, and they say they have 6 programs at their team, at their school, in an indoor facility. I'm like, wait, 6 programs? Can you send some of those kids over here to the South Bay? We'd appreciate it.
Well, also, I think the numbers, just in terms of overall student enrollment for Sweetwater, has gone down because new schools have opened up, more schools have opened up, and that's something that nobody gives any school any leeway for. When you're like, oh, you have 400 male students in general.
Yes, there should be no.
What is the statistical chance that you actually have 70 of them are like really good at football and are the right assortment of positions, that some of them are big, some of them are small and fat? Like, it's very hard to be good with a very small student base.
Very much so.
So 0-1, but you guys go. That's big game hunting. Playing against Grossmont is not a thing that happened accidentally for you guys. It was not a last minute COVID. We had to set something up. So mission accomplished, that you had a learning experience. You showed the kids where that level is, or was it just a lot? Like, what was the takeaway from week 1?
So we started the game out very well, coming off with an interception from Xavier Sanchez on the first drive, then going and taking it in, and scoring on that drive, and then we kind of hit a lull, and that was to be expected. We knew the other shoe was going to drop at some point in time, and I'm glad we got it to drop against a very, very skilled Grossmont team. They have some stars. They have some dogs on their team, and we as well have dogs, but sometimes to be the man, you gotta beat the man. That's what I tell my kids all the time. And they went out there and they gave their all until the end, and that's where I'll take it. I'm not the biggest of moral victory guys that we talk about, but we really did accomplish something as a team and put Grossmont on notice and put a lot of other schools on notice. But I know that when we get in the league, Sweetwater's going to be something to deal with.
That fourth quarter, last couple of minutes, when you realize that Grossmont has 100 kids and that some of their second and third tier kids could be starters on other teams, is always interesting for the small schools when you start to white knuckle it and you're like, please don't let the doors get blown off. Please don't let the doors get blown off. We just need to not give up 3 touchdowns in 3 drives right here. Guys, we got 6 minutes on the clock. Please, for the love of God, hold on. And the whole coaching staff, you can see their collective stress. They're like, if we keep this, if we get out of here healthy, we're going to be able to watch the film. We're going to be able to learn from this. Oh, yes, it's not 50. We kept it under. Yes. And so, yeah, I can see where you're going with that. You guys, next couple weeks, you got Coronado, Bonita Vista, Santana, Scripps, San Ysidro, Montgomery, Chula Vista, then you close out with the league. That, again, feels like you are not saying we got our one tough one. Oh, no. We were someone's tomato can. We got a little bit of it helps us in the power rankings.
We're hunting for the tough games.
Where does that come from? Is that top down with head coach? Is that you guys collectively looking at the talent and being like, we want to do this?
It's a bit inherited, but from that, our head coach instills and empowers the kids as well as us to know that we are National City kids. we got a little chip on our shoulder, and we'll go against anybody. So I'm excited for the Santanas, the Bonitas, the Scripps, the Coronados, just because it opens doors. And the funny thing about Coronado, Kurt Hines, head coach, is one of my mentors. So we can set that up. He is
big Kurt Hines guy. Big Kurt Hines guy.
I went and saw him last night. I told him, hey, I'm not spying, but I'm spying on you.
People don't understand the handcuffs that he is working with when you have a school that is heavily influenced by the military, and how you can have a superstar athlete there for 2 years and then middle of the night he's gone because his dad has moved to a different base somewhere, and you just that's not Helix coming in or Cathedral. I didn't mean to throw, but we know that's not one of those coming in and then just bullying you around and being like, oh, like we're absorbing your talent. That's excuse me. Any of that. It's very, very different. And there's not a lot of schools that have as direct of a military base underneath them, because it is literally like Coronado is literally
I work there, so I work on Coronado. I'm in the Navy active duty, and so I drive past every day.
And if I'm not mistaken, there's not another school. Maybe Mar Vista has a little bit of the tip of, but like it's that basis school.
Canyon Hills really
true. The Tierra Santa, a lot of the military lives in. So great. Canyon Hills is the other one, but it's not a lot of things that other coaches deal with. So we love him. He also gives great pregame speeches. Whether or not it's matching the vibe of the team in that room, the movie cameras are always ready for Kurt Hines whenever he wants to switch over to that. Give us some names. Give us some players that are already going to be performing this year that you're watching for the next couple of years. Just who are some names that we want to put faces with?
So let's talk about our senior class. We have number 24, Javier Sanchez. We have Adrian Ramirez, number 52. He's an O-lineman. Number 56, Carlos Delgado is a sophomore standout kid. Xavier Cruz, number 9. He's a quarterback DB. Had a little struggles at DB, but we talk about it as last year he was a freshman. Well, COVID season, he was a freshman, and he had never played organized football. But the kid is one of the fastest kids in the county. So he's a dual sport athlete.
Track,
yes. Track and football. And he's our quarterback. He's our backup quarterback right now. But he may get the start this week. So.
Weapon X, yes. that hidden option.
You know what? I'll let him know that's a cool
deal.
Nickname. We got to get him in here in the studio.
Open invite, man.
Carlos Hopper, number 13, our other running back. I'm running backs coach, so I'm a little biased. I love my backs. I think.
Well, and we live in a generation where running backs need every advocate they can for them, because the NFL has largely turned it into a irrelevant position.
It is 4 years and then you're done, because, well, by the time that rookie contract's up, we've used you as much as we can.
So I don't think kids necessarily grow up idolizing running backs right now, the way that when LT was here in San Diego, or any generation previous had their signature guys. How big is the current senior class? You said 4 or 5, or what do we got seniors wise playing?
We got about 7, 8 seniors.
So this is not going to be this is not your, like, you have to have it happen this year, or you're missing a window.
And Sweetwater is a force to be reckoned with in the years coming, because we got a lot of sophomores. Adrian Guerrero started at safety as a freshman, because we had 2 major injuries in the 2.5 weeks that it took to prepare for a season. That was our starting safety and starting DB.
Question that I'm asking to everybody football related that comes in here, because to me, this is the only group that we're ever going to be able to ask this question to, and so I have to ask. Other states will do something akin to either padded practices or scrimmages in the spring for football. Does San Diego need that? Is this season that we just did going to benefit you guys in any extra way, or does it go run track? Like there is no right or wrong answer, but I'm just curious what the feedback is on something like that, maybe being a part of San Diego high school football.
For me, it's becoming a new normal. So I really like the potential instead of the 7-on-7, because I'm not really an advocate of 7-on-7. 7-on-7 only benefits the defense.
Not real football. It does nothing other than hype up guys for recruiting film.
Most certainly, and you get a lot of grandiose dreams about. Excuse me, I hit the mic.
Oh, well,
lot of
no, the
grandiose
intern started
dreams.
licking your shin there, so she threw you off.
A lot of grandiose dreams from 7-on-7.
Oh,
and it's
oh,
not
no, no,
in
no, no, no,
football.
no, no, no. I was signs. I will co-sign this entirely as 100% a take I endorse. 7-on-7 is great for making people feel good. It is 100% great for, oh, wow, my quarterback connected a bunch.
Man,
Oh, wow,
no
everything's good. Yes. 7-on-7 is very, very rarely a reflection of how good your team is going to be. And everyone will be always, oh, Lincoln, they went out, they scored 100 touchdowns, and then they won a CIF championship. I'm like, yes, because look at that. They had 5 defensive backs that all went D1. You can win when you have that in a real football game as well as in a flag football game.
Yes.
Back to now our regularly scheduled program.
I'm glad we had that little PSA. Yes.
Do
I'm
the-
an advocate of 7-on-7. So if we could come into like a little spring league, padded practice like Thuds or something like that, we're built for it because we've shown.
The two sides of the arguments that I have heard have been one saying that it's going to make football safer because it gives kids who are those never played organized sports or organized football a chance to actually do the requisite thing that you need to learn, which is how to in pads stay safe and keep moving. And a lot of the kids in high school that I feel like get injured are the ones that are not entirely ready for getting just kind of caught up in the mix at the line and they don't know where to look out, and so they stop moving, play comes towards them, they get rolled up. Yep. I've heard coaches say, yes, that would potentially be beneficial and huge. And then I've heard a lot of coaches on the other side say, F no, I don't want my kids blown out on football. Go do your spring sports. I don't want to talk to you. And very few people are in the middle. So I found this interesting that the one group that has actually gone through this, a lot of people have actually strong feelings about this. And it's not just, oh, whatever, that was an aberration for your people. Really,
it's a proven product. We're showing that the kids are getting enough rest in between. Now, I will say for the dual sport athletes, it does kind of kick into that.
It's brutal.
And I'm stealing from baseball, but at the same point in time, like we've proven that we can make it happen.
I mean, I am of the mindset that you should always encourage multiple sport athletes, because if you look at everybody that's in the pros, they're like, oh yeah, that guy also played basketball and track and whatever else in high school for all of the sports, all of everybody. My favorite one to always quote, and this is becoming a more and more aged reference, but Joe Mauer was the Gatorade quarterback of the year his senior year in high school. Yes, the catcher for the Twins was the nastiest high school quarterback in the nation his senior year. And that's where I'm just like, that did nothing to stop his career in baseball. It just made him...
Money's in baseball.
Well, no, but also it just made him a better athlete. Like, no high school baseball coach was able to convince Joe Mauer that you have to come play all year for me, otherwise you're not going to make it to the pros. It's like, no, go let him get buff and get like, yeah.
The best thing, we are starting to get basketball players into our program, and they're showing that they are ready.
And so to me, the synergy of, hey, baseball, like we're going to just come let them do 6 practices in the spring.
Yes.
Hey, track, come let them do 6 practices in the spring. We'll let you have them unencumbered for the rest of the year, and we won't bug about off-season lifting and anything like that. Yeah, yes. Also, track, 100%. Every football player needs to do track.
Needs to do track.
Whether or not they know what to do in the, like, just do the workouts.
And this is why I did not do as well, because I dodged track while I was in high school. So
I did baseball.
Football,
yeah, I'm with you.
And I played tennis. I lettered in tennis. So
oh, man. Hey, low-key, though, tennis, badminton, stuff like that, great on your side-to-sides. Yes. Your agility,
my lateral movement was great until
unreal.
I started tearing these knees up.
Yes. Well, I mean, that's time. That happens to all of us eventually, other than Tom Brady.
Exactly.
So we'll get you out of here in a few minutes. Really appreciate all of your time. What, for you guys, is the next couple of weeks? Are you looking at, you want to go? I mean, are you just going to give me the take it week by week? Is that the most cliche, or do you have something circled like maybe up until league starts? What are you guys circling for? This is a successful non-league season, and we are right where we want to be.
Oh, the toughest question. So I'll give you the honest. So we feel like if we can escape the preseason before we get into our league,
They call it non-league, but yeah.
Our non-league. If we can escape the non-league on the other side of 500, we're doing well. So it's not that we're going out there thinking, hey.
So if you're 3-2,
if we're 3-2 heading into league, we're gonna make noise. I am fully confident in the team that we have, the offense that we run, and I want these other teams to know that Sweetwater is here, and we're gonna put you all on notice.
Appreciate it.
Our head coach, Urban Hernandez, is big on the kids. Kids that we have a great group of kids, and they showed a lot of resolve that grows my game. So I'm excited.
Oh, last question, and I just always want the South Bay people to remind everybody that this is part of even more of, like, you guys have the deck stacked against you. You've had to do this all while the kids are in school.
Yes.
So other teams are like, oh yeah, sleep until 9. We'll see you at 10:45 for the first practice today. You're dealing with kids who have already had to sit through 7 periods, been up since the crack of dawn, maybe not had like a well-cooked lunch that other kids would, if they're on, like, just it never ends in terms of how hard it is for you guys to have a leg up in any situation.
It's tough west of the 805, but we make it work. And I am actually happy that the kids are back in the classroom.
Bonita's east of the 805, and they have it tough. I'm saying everybody in the Sweetwater Unified has it tough, at least on that one detail.
Most definitely in that case. So no, I don't count out Bonita in that. But
I get that there's a gradient. I get that there's a sliding gradient from different parts of the community here.
Yeah, there's a little bit more love given.
Which, let me just say, I've been south of the 8. To anybody that just judges because of this, like, being the skin tone and my homerism towards La Jolla, my fiance is a Hilltop grad. Okay. Yesterday, I was at Eastlake and Mater Dei. I've been to all of the schools, all of them.
We gotta get you to Sweetwater, man.
I've been to Sweetwater multiple.
Be at, and I'll get you on the sidelines.
I have a media credential, so appreciate it. That's, to me, is the other thing is parents are like, not always, but sometimes parents will DM and be like, hey, I got the connection with coach. Who do you want to interview? I'm like,
I can interview
15,000 followers on Instagram. I can just directly DM the kids. Let's see. Who's the league rival? Who's the primary league rival that you guys are going to have it? Chula at home?
Oh,
yeah.
Rival.
No,
that's our homecoming, but come to the Montgomery game. That's going to be a good one.
They need to have games, man. I feel so bad for Dunkel and those guys.
Yes. So I was talking to, he was at the Coronado game last night. And I was talking
Which, TJ McKay, you just need to post the shoes anyway. Like, stop holding. Oh, wait, I can't wait for that. Just post game shoes. Just give us shoes.
I that all the time, man. We're going to have a shoe battle. Me and TJ are going to have a shoe battle.
All right. First off, if we're going to open that up, that's a bracket. There's not a one-on-one. That's a whole thing because...
And I have some heat that I have not dropped yet. Right now, I'm just wearing some basic Reeboks, but I didn't know the environment that I was going to be in, so I didn't want to...
Well, okay, so I will also say that we got to do brackets because I think different people have different things that they consider drip. Like, some people are just the clean, nothing to it. It's just icy, it's clean, it's fresh, it's crisp. Some people, they look like Picasso went crazy on their shoes and are trying to convince you, oh, yeah, this is style. So we'll put different categories, but if I had to put you into a bracket, what are you labeling the bracket that you know you would win?
I'm winning the shoe game.
What I'm saying of the shoe game, like the clean, like the workout shoes, or you got the colorful, like matches the outfit, the dress shoes? Okay.
Colorful, everything. I'm coordinating. I am the sneakerhead of the South Bay head coaches or assistant coaches. Believe that.
I was trying to figure out where Crawford falls into because I think that their coach was saying hands down he's the best, but we'll run tape on all this. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! All right.
He sat in here and then.
See this.
Well, I'll send you the clip. It's at the tail end. It's like the last 2 minutes of the interview with them.
Last clip I saw a kid was showing a 6-inch scar, and I don't have that.
Oh, the water polo kids.
Yes.
You I don't think you guys. Do you guys have water polo at your school?
No, we don't have
those kids are crazy. Water polo kids are. Have you been ever to a water polo game?
No, I've watched it on the Olympics.
Okay.
I'm like, hey, that's intense. I drown. And I can swim. I swim well.
She's making sure you don't drown. Hey, Kingsley, get down. We're gonna talk about water polo off screen, Coach. Thank you so much for being on with us. Petco, sponsor us. We'll talk to you soon.